Come on. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. I'm Nahum, WFI Memphis, man. And we're about to go into another Spirit Check Saturday, right? How y'all feeling today? How everybody feeling? Hey, first and foremost, right? Let's give all praises and honor and magnification and glory to the Most High, man. Right? Right? We just blew up the trumpets, man. So we're gonna get this thing going, man. Like, this is why we do these lessons, so people can get their spirits in order, so we can get our spirits in order, right? So lock it. Let's make sure the live is going real quick. Let's make sure the live is going real quick. Let me tap in and make sure everything is going well through the spirit. Everything is going well through the spirit. Con. May have some errors, man. May have some glitches. Technology is always faulty on the Sabbath day, man. Satan is always looking to take away the spirit. But through the spirit of the Most High, man, we're going to continue to move forth on these Spirit Check Saturdays. We're going to continue to move forth through the power of Yahweh Shem HaMashiach Yahushua. This is about everybody getting their minds right. This isn't about playing around. This isn't about distracting yourself. Everyone should be attentive to the Most High on this day, man. Whether you're at home studying, whether you're at home praying, whether you're with your friends, whether you're with the body, whether you're already in a Sabbath class, nobody should be taking light of the holy day of the Most High, and nobody should be taking light a teacher who's bringing out words, man, or a servant of the Most High or a prophet. Nobody should be taking these things light, man, because the days are drawing nigh that you're no longer going to be able to go to and fro, go about your day to day, right? Go out to your clubs, man. Going out to your parties or your family barbecues, man. These days are going to come to an end. Checking it out at your tablets and your laptops and playing around, man. Right? We have a lot of wicked demons floating around Israel, man. And there are even more demons floating around in the world where people aren't awakened to the truth, where people are not awakened to who they are. But they take all sorts of measures to keep going on in their day-to-day business, not caring about the business of the Most High, man. So this is a Spirit Check Saturday, man. This is a Spirit Check Sabbath, right? First and foremost, let's give another reverence and all praise to the Most High, man, right? Everybody should know how to magnify the Lord. Everybody should know how to give glory to the Most High, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushua deserves that, man. So first and foremost, all praise is called Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Like I said before, man, I'm Nahum, WFI Memphis. And we're going to dig into today's lesson. For it was well with us in Egypt. Why would it be well with us in Egypt? Why would you say it was well with us in Egypt? And that's the lesson we're going to go into, man. Our people are stuck on America, man. For it's going good for me right now, man. Why would I want to change with the Most High? I got this new job. I got this girlfriend now. I got a new man. I got a new car. I just graduated. Man, we're going on vacation. Why is it so well with you in Egypt that no one can conceive that this place isn't our rest, man? That no one can conceive that this place isn't where we're supposed to be, man. For it is well with us. For we're good. We're not good here in Babylon, man. But we've been confused through the gifts, man. Through the spoiling of the heart, man. We've been confused. So we're going to dig right into this thing. Let's do this screen share, right? Of course, we always have to make sure the edification goes forth. So we do a screen share. So whoever doesn't have their sword, which you should always have your sword, but you should follow along with your pen and pad, taking notes, reading, right? Getting into this thing to check your own spirit, man. To examine yourself. And this is why we're into this, man. We have to examine ourselves continuously, man. There's no reason not to examine yourself, man. Right? And ultimately, like we said, what is this place, man? Let's go to the book of Micah. Let's turn to the book of Micah, man. Right? Chapter 2. And let's start at verse 10. Turn to the book of Micah, chapter 2. And let's start at verse 10. Con, when you got it. Because this is me opening up my family Sabbaths, man. Normally, you know what I'm saying, we just sit around about. We have certain brothers, certain sisters tapping in, you know, on a personal link. But we're opening this thing up to the world, man, where your children can come out. Your children should have their Bible in their hand, man. Nobody should be falling asleep. Nobody should be cozying up. Everybody should be looking at the scriptures. Everybody should be reading along. Everybody should be opening their ears, man. So you don't fall away because you're tired, right? Hey, I have my children sit before me, man. And if I see they're tired, hey, go ahead and stand up, right? Let's do an exercise. Go ahead and stand up. We'll do it right now. Go ahead and stand up, right? Yep, stand it up. That's how it goes, man. Nobody gets to put up a hammock while the lesson is going out, man. Nobody gets to and just roll on over, man. This isn't for me. This is for our body, man. This is for the edification. And this is not your rest. The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10, and it reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest," man. This is not where you should just be cozying up for a vacation every day, man. Doing your own thing. Today it's Saturday. I'm glad I made it to the weekend. This is not our rest, man. You shouldn't be getting Tempur-Pedic to death, man. Comfortable after comfortable after comfortable, man. Everything is for your convenience. I'm doing this for my convenience. I want it easier. It wasn't supposed to be easy in captivity, man. America is not our rest. Do you understand? Let's keep reading. Why is this place not our rest? What does it say next? What does it say next?
Because it is polluted.
Speak louder.
Because it is polluted.
Because it is what?
Because it is polluted.
Are you all polluted? Again, on these days, you all have to show some enthusiasm to be before the Lord, man. You have to show some sort of gladness to be before the Lord, man. So what does it say right after that? Again, because it is what?
Because it is polluted.
Because it is polluted. Over here, I can't hear you. We're going to run this back over and over again so everyone can understand how serious this is and how serious I am about coming before the Lord with your whole heart. Verse 10, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is what?"
Because it is polluted.
Because it is polluted. So if you all before Yahweh Shai and you all are whispering like this, like you all are doing right now in this live, I would call that a pretty pathetic display of your spirit. Because it is what?
Because it is polluted.
Because it is polluted. This place is polluted. Are you polluted? Are your hearts polluted? The people will judge. Those who here have eyes to see and ears to hear, they're going to judge. They're going to say, "Oh yeah, I don't know about that crew. They seem like they're really not too much into this thing, man. I don't know, man. Maybe I should be like that." Your spirit jumps off on the next person, man. Your wickedness jumps off on the next person, man. If you don't have any gladness before the Lord, what use is he? What use are you? That's a commandment to come before the Most High with gladness, right? So the next time we do a verse reading, right, make sure you lift up your voice with righteousness and a righteous intent to give magnification to the Lord and not conceitness to your own heart, man. To not be prideful in your own doubt, man. This is Spirit Check Saturdays, man. And that's why we do these things, because guess what? Guess what? Your spirits need to be checked, man. You need to be checked, man. A hard head makes a soft bottom. Hey, a hard head gets destroyed in Israel, man. It says, because it is polluted, man. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So how many of you are, by show of hands, want to be destroyed? Up here. Who wants to be destroyed? Not you. Speak up. I can't hear whispering. Who wants to be destroyed? I heard the little ones. They said, not me. Sounding like the chipmunks, right? The little soft voice. What about you two? This is for the magnification, not only for this household, but for the whole world who intends to tap in to understand why we're doing this thing. Why is this lesson going forth? Right? For it was well with us in Egypt. Are you all okay in Egypt? Are you all okay in Babylon to live your days throughout the rest of your life and die in your enemy's land? Who's okay to die in their enemy's land, man? To die in Babylon, man? To carry on, right? If a man walking in the spirit, verse 11, in falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. So a lot of you all are giving yourselves into the strong drink of Babylon, man. The doctrine, the wine of this world has rocked you to sleep, man. For this is not our rest, man. But let's dig into that. Let's jump into this thing, man. Let's everybody turn to the book of Numbers, right? And let's go from the top, man. Matter of fact, let's go to Numbers chapter 10. Let's go to Numbers chapter 10, right? Numbers chapter 10, right? Because we're not only in the Sabbath day right now, we have new moon approaching, man. New moon, the ordinance of the Most High to keep his feast day. New moon happens August 3rd or sundown. Today at sundown. From tomorrow sundown. It's an ordinance, man. Read verse 2 and read it aloud.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 10 and verse 2.
Speak up.
Make thee 2 trumpets of silver. Of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps.
So we have to make these trumpets, man, right? For the calling of the assembly, right? And the journeying of the camps. Read verse 3. Read it aloud.
Verse 3. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes, which are heads of the 1,000 of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee. And ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forward.
All right. So again, when we're reading, we want to make sure we're projecting our voice so that the microphone can pick you up, right? You have to project louder. Read a little bit louder, right? So it's saying blow up the trumpet, man, right? And it says we shall blow this trumpet when we assemble. Do y'all understand that? Assemble means coming together, right? And so that's what we did before the live. You know, we get in the spirit, we get those trumpets blowing. Bounce down to verse 6. What does it say?
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
When ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey.
Shall take their journey. Read.
They shall blow an alarm for their journey.
So we have a trumpet that goes out as an alarm. So when there's war ahead or there's certain types of calls that we do with that trumpet, there's a sound that's made that's presented with that trumpet. But also there's another way that we blow the trumpet. Let's bounce down to verse 10. Let's bounce down to verse 10. And it reads,
also in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days.
Say that again. Top of the verse 10. Say it again.
Also in the day of your gladness.
In the day of your gladness. What is the day of our gladness, people? What is the day of our gladness? Is it birthdays? What is the day of our gladness?
Feast days.
Speak louder.
Feast days.
Who? Say it again.
Feast days.
So have some confidence in the things that you have taught So therefore, in these spirit check Saturdays, because look, I'm checking y'all spirit, man. It ain't about the live or YouTube, and I'm checking y'all spirit, man. All right. Everyone should be checking their own spirits, man. Checking their own houses. You got to get your house in order, man. Again, it says what in verse 10? Also in the days of your what?
Of your gladness.
Of your gladness, man. What is the day of our gladness? The Sabbath day, the ordinance, the feast days, right? Passover, right? Tabernacles, the new moons. These are the days of our gladness. Your days of your gladness should not be damn hell a cookout, man, with barbecue beers and blunts flying around, man. The day of your gladness shouldn't be to go do wickedness and go celebrate your birthday all month, man. The day of your gladness shouldn't be to go to the nail salon and get your hair did, man. You don't go blow the trumpet to go buy some clothes and an outfit, man. Everyone's stuck in vanity in this world right now, man. And for these vain thoughts that you put over the Most High every day of your life, of your wicked lives, man, and then you turn around and say you love God, he's going to judge you for that, man. He says, you don't love me. He says, I never knew you. Because when you had time to do your own thing and you had liberty, you chose to be wicked on the earth, man. Let's get that in 2nd Ezra chapter 9 real quick. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, right? And let's go to chapter 9. When you had time to turn to the Most High, what did you do? What did you do? You chose not to deal with the Most High, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, and let's start at verse 11. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, and let's start at verse 11. And it reads, and they have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, they understood not, but despised it, man. The same must know it after death by pain. So this is a problem where people keep taking light these lessons. Y'all keep taking light people trying to pray for you. You all keep taking light the Most High's commandments. Y'all keep taking light the ordinances. You keep taking light the feast days. You keep taking light discipline. You keep taking light everything that's been given to you under this sun as grace and mercy. You're going to have to know your errors of your ways by death. Quite frank and simple, and by pain. Because when you had all amounts of time, day after day after day after day, you chose to not deal with the Most High. Let him bow. You chose to not deal with the Most High, man. Go ahead. Now, what do we do? And therefore, verse 13, be thou not curious, right? Verse 13, be thou not curious, right? Of how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. So right off the bat, you guys, let's go back to Numbers chapter 10. And let's start at verse 10. Right off the bat, you guys, the first thing the Lord is telling you all to do is keep his commandments and to not come with that mundane, boring, lackadaisical, slothful spirit, coming with heaviness and grief and depression, and coming with the Lord as if the Lord isn't the God of all gods, man. As if it's nothing for him to make the poor rich. As if it's nothing for him to heal that disease. As if it's nothing for him to cause faith. You all got to start doing your portion instead of being wicked Israelites, man. Instead of being wicked children, man. Instead of being wicked wives and husbands, man. Instead of being wicked in-laws and stuff, man. Wicked co-workers, man. You all are losing your mind in Israel, man. for it was well with you in Egypt. So what good is the Most High? This is the problem, man. It says also in the day of your gladness, verse 10, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings. So what did it say right here that I glossed over? In the beginnings of your what?
In the beginnings of your months.
In the beginnings of your months. These are your new moons. So you're to be with gladness on every Sabbath day. You're to come before the Most High, blowing that trumpet every new moon. You're to come making a memorial to the Lord your God every chance you get, man. For I am the Lord your God, is what it says right here, right? Let's go to verse 29 and let's dig into this thing, man. Let's go to 29, Numbers chapter 10 and 29, and let's dig into this thing, man. And it says, and Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Raguel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law. So let's reconcile this real quick before I go forth. Hobab will be the brother-in-law to Moses, and Raguel, well, that would more than likely be Jethro, as you've read in Exodus, right? And we're going to get that account. Jethro gave Moses counsel to not take on everything by himself, to judge righteously, to appoint other men that are righteous, that aren't covetous in their heart, to deal with the people to help you out so that you can help judge the matter of the people and the causes of the people. Thus says the Lord, giving them the commandments, giving them the righteous discernment for how to deal with the law and how to deal with one another. So Moses said unto Hobab, his brother-in-law, the son of Raguel or Jethro, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, Jethro was Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto the place of which the Lord said, I will give it you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good, for the Lord have spoken good concerning Israel. And he said unto him, and Hobab said, I will not go, right? But I will depart to mine own land and to mine kindred. For these were Midianites, man. For these were not expressly, right, the people of Israel. So let's go to this account. Let's go to this account in Exodus. Let's get Exodus, right? Chapter 18. And let's dig a little bit deeper. We're going to look into this thing, Egypt, man. What was going on in Egypt, right? Why do people not want to come out of America? Right? We'll get to that. Exodus chapter 18. And let's hear verse 1. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, in that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Now, if Egypt in America is so good, why do we need to leave out of it? Why do we need to leave out of something that's good? Because it's not good, right? Because America and all of these places we've been scattered, they're really not good. It says, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, right, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back. Now I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. Let's just jump down to verse 8, right? Let's get on with this. It says, and Moses told his father-in-law all that who?
The Lord.
All that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, man. And all the travail that had come upon them by the way and how the Lord delivered them, man. So if you're not going through travail in America, if everything's peachy, you haven't had any sort of adversity, right? You're just in love with America. You're gonna vote for Trump, man. You're getting your blue and red colors out, man. You're just drinking the Kool-Aid. If you are understanding that our people are going through travail in this country, well, those wasn't that happened to our forefathers, man. You know, they didn't slave us out. If you can't see between the lines at this point in 2024, with all the things that are happening, to understand that we are the Most High's and He's going to do something for our sake against this land that has raped, robbed, and murdered His people. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't have much to say to you, because it's quite evident that like in times past, these things are going to happen again. Right? We're looking to be delivered out of America, out of Babylon again. Right? And it says, and Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians, man. So we're in the hand of Trump right now. We're in the hand of America, in the hand of military powers, man, in the hand of principalities in high places. But you can't see that because they've given you free will to go drink what you want, to go be a heathen. They've given you license to go sin, man, to be the best Gentile you can be, man, to be the best alien you can be, to be the best stranger you can be. They've told you to go do these things. And you don't have to put on clothes. Dress like a thought, man. Put on nothing. Come outside and do your whore walk, man. Do your harlot walk, man. And brothers, you all can go over here and just kill one another, man. Right? You all can just go over here and kill one another, man. That's what you all can do. This is the ridiculousness of being in captivity, man, under the hand of the so-called Egyptians, right? And what does Jethro say? And Jethro said in verse 10, blessed be the Lord, man, who have delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who have delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians, man. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, man. But see, we already knew that. These other nations are going to learn that, just like Jethro learned. We already know who we serve. You should know who you serve. Spirit Check Sabbath Day. Shouldn't you know who you serve? Shouldn't you know he's greater than all of these things in Egypt that they have to offer you? Satan taking Yahushua up and say, hey, I give you to all the kingdoms of the earth. Don't you know that we serve someone greater than that, than all these kingdoms? What do they have to offer that's greater than our God, man? That's greater than Yahweh. Yahushua, man. What's greater than that, man? What's greater than Yahushua? What's greater than Yahweh, man? Right? Than your heritage, than your culture, man. For in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, the Lord was above them. So you are in a place of the proud, where pride rules everything, man. Pride in your nation, pride in being a patriot, pride in being this and that, man. I'm prideful that I'm now the president of this company, man. Women being put as rulers over you, children being women being your oppressors, and children ruling over you, and vice versa, man. You're seeing all of these things happen, man. Yet we want to stay in Egypt, man. Our people are walking in the spirit of their forefathers, which is why we were sent over here, man. There was a whole reason why we were sent into captivity. Because you didn't want anything to do with the Most High God, man. That's craziness, right? Is that not craziness? Is that not craziness? Let's jump down to verse 19. Let's get to it. What does it say? What did Jethro say to Moses? Verse 19, what does it say?
Hearken now to my voice.
Thank you. Hearken now unto my voice. That means listen, right? Listen. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. So this was the thing I was saying, right? Where Jethro offered a suggestion of advice or even counsel, as it's written, right? To say, hey, Moses, don't deal with all these people from sun up to sundown. You're going to wear yourself out. Split that task up between people who are worthy to help you, right? Don't you all want people who are worthy beside you? Or do you want people who are killers and backbiters beside you, man? Do you want people who are disloyal and dishonest beside you? This is what the world has to offer to you. Someone who will take your position, backstab you, right? You get a promotion. They're hating on you in the background. Man, he didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that. I'm much better. And then when you walk up to them, they smile in your face, say, hey, how you doing? It's that spirit what you want to be. Soon as you turn around, someone has a knife at your back. Is that what y'all want? To be around the hateful, to be around those who don't care about you or your best interests? Well, this is what Moses was up against, man. Trying to figure out which way to go, which way is up, and how to deal with this thing. But he was considered the meek on the earth, man, the meekest on the earth. So Moses was always going to serve the Most High. But this suggestion, it was righteous. Let's keep reading in verse 20, right? This is Exodus chapter 18, right? In verse 20. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way where they must walk, in the work that they must do. So this is why Spirit Check Sabbath, Spirit Check Saturdays are important, because in these lessons, you should all be observing these ordinances, learning a little bit more about your history and what you must do to walk with the Lord. Let's keep going. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Yahweh, right? Fear the Most High, right? Men of truth, hating covetousness, man. And place such over them to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, rulers of tens. So we're looking for men and women of truth right now, man. We're looking for those who hate to be covetous, to be in a covetous spirit, man. We're looking for those who want to not be in sin right now, man. That's who you should want beside you. That way you can go out and teach the people who are in sin. That way you can go out and find the fish who are in wickedness. That's why camps are important, because you're building yourself with a body of individuals who are like-minded men. So all these camp haters and people who hate gathering together, this is the same thing Moses did, man. He built a camp right here. Able men, men of truth that hate covetousness. And they went out to give judgment over thousands, over hundreds, over 50s, over 10s even, man. Because being with like-minded men matters. Being with God-fearing people matters. Not dealing with sinners on your day-to-day as your comrades, as your buddies, does not equal righteousness to you, man. You're not doing anything by embodying yourself with a group of thieves and killers, man. I'm going to go hang out with the guys today again. And then you're put on your fringes. They're over there smoking weed all day, drinking all day, barbecuing pork all day. And you're just sitting there with your fringes on, man. I'm good. All right, man. Y'all keep going, man. All right, man. Hey, you know who's supposed to keep the commandment? I don't want to hear that. All right. And you just put your head down, man. That's not right, man. You all have to stand for righteousness, man. Right? And what was their charge? Verse 22. The charge was to let them judge the people at all seasons, year round, not any gaps or schisms in between. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee. Okay, this is the purpose of getting yourself right, so that someone can what? Ask you a question. Why do you serve the Lord? What's the Most High's name? What type of things should I not eat? What type of things should I wear? You all should have an answer. You 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 should have an answer to judge the small things. right? Verse 23. If thou do this thing and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure. Who's enduring right now? And all this people shall also go to their place in peace. Who's enduring right now? Huh? Who's making their self and their election assured right now? Right? Let's jump down to verse 26. Let's look at this. And they judge the people at all seasons. In verse 26. And they judge the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went into his own land. So again, you have Israelites over here, and then you have his father-in-law of different people. Hey, I'm going to go into my own land, right? Now let's go to Exodus chapter 6. Let's go to Exodus chapter 6, right? And let's look at this thing, why the Most High had to deliver us in the first place, right? And what the heck is wrong with our people for wanting to be in Egypt, for wanting to stay in Egypt, for wanting to love America, for wanting to love Babylon? What is going on in your mind, man? What's going on in your heart? Exodus chapter 6. And let's start at verse 2. And God spake unto Moses. Who's speaking?
God.
And said unto him, I am who? The Lord. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, but my name Yahweh was I not known to them. I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan. So you all have right here, when y'all get back into these stuff, you're going to realize you're going to see that some of our people didn't have faith that the Lord said he's going to do these things. And it's going to piss the Most High off. It's going to make people angry that you're not understanding that the Lord had already made these promises. You all aren't having faith on God's promises. And that's the real problem with people wanting to stay in America. You all have no real faith on what thus says the Lord is, man. So you keep getting tattoos. So you keep arguing with one another, fighting against your parents even, man. Smoking, drinking, committing adultery. You all have no faith that the Most High is going to make good on his promises, even judging you. You don't think it's going to happen. You don't think it's going to happen. So you keep going on. You just keep going on because you haven't seen any type of repercussions or any type of adversity or pushback from your actions. You think that it's all good. Foolish, man. It says, I will establish my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers, right? And what does it say? And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel. I've heard the crying and help me, Lord, and we going down. Our day is going to come. The singing of hymns, they'll give us peace. Just is no peace. All the picketing. The Lord has heard all the groaning of the children of Israel. February, the month of Black history. We did this and we pulled ourselves up and all these different things. Is groaning, right? Whom the Egyptians keep in bondage. And I have remembered my covenant. So this is a very important verse right here. This verse shows you that we weren't having a good time in Egypt. That we weren't having a good time in Egypt. Are you all having a good time in America? Flying here, I can go fly there, man. I can go cruise here, man. I can go jump off a plane and parachute myself and get all the adrenaline and rush that I want here in America, man. I could eat anything. I could go to any restaurant and feast to myself. Are you all enjoying that right now? There used to be a place called Toys R Us, man. Toys R Us, man. Right? To just live your life in folly, man. A whole warehouse full of merchandise to just keep you distracted, man, as a child, man. And the adults went in there too, man. to play their lives away, to the arcades, man. There used to be a place called the arcades, man, where it's just a room full of these big machines, game machines, man. You all seen them today, right? It's your incredible pieces, man, right? Name some more of these places that have modern day arcades, right? Main events, man, right? Dave and Buster's, right? Andy B's, man, all these different places, man. Yeah, hey, and there's a Dave and Buster's that damn near in every city, man. There's a distraction room in every state, man, to keep you all complacent, thinking that your life is easy, man, thinking that you're good in bondage. And it says, and I have remembered my covenant. So what happens when the Most High says he's going to remember his covenant with us in this day and age, and we have to leave up out of here? Are you going to be hoping back into America? Are you going to be holding on to your Tesla? Are you going to be holding on to your iPhone in the service? I can't get on TikTok. Oh my God. Is that going to be you? Right? I can't leave. All of my hair products are here. Is that going to be you? I just got a whole closet full of shoes and Chanel and Gucci. And we got to do what? We got to leave. Is that going to be you? Worried about Egypt? I want to stay in bondage. Let's keep reading. It says, wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments, man. Judgments are coming to America, whether you like it, understand it, want it to happen or not. This place is on a time schedule, and the time is drawing nigh. Nigh means close. Nigh means near. The time is drawing nigh. The time is drawing to an end. Let's keep reading. And I will take you to me for a people. Verse 7. I will take you to me for a people. Con? And I will be to you what? A God. You see that? And ye shall know that I am the Lord your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. So this is also going into the new covenant, man, where he's going to say, well, we read this, right? The Lord's going to put in us a new heart, right? Download that thing, and we're going to be a people to him, and he's going to be our God, right? Right? This is what's been said to happen to us and for us, right? What does it say in verse 8? Let's keep reading. And I will bring you into the land concerning the which I did swear to give to who? Abraham and who? To Isaac and who? And to Jacob, right? And I will give it you for an heritage. I am the Lord, man. So your heritage isn't America, man. Your heritage isn't Egypt. But you love it, right? You love it in captivity, right? What does verse 9 say? And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they what? But they what? Hearken not. But they listen not. They hearken not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage, man. So they were going through so much. People like in the prison houses, brothers, we can go down to the courthouse and you're going to see a plethora of Israelites standing there. Anytime I go down there for a ticket or whatever it is, there's always Jake and Eve standing in line, man, at every courtroom, man. I talked to a white man in my job, man. He says, I've never received a ticket ever in my life. And this white man's damn near 65 right now. I had 12 tickets by the age of 16, 17, 18. I've been to court 10 times before 17. Just off of driving correctly. You don't have a light on your license plate. Here's a ticket. Improper lane switching. Here's a ticket. Following too close. Broken tail light. Rolling through the stop sign. We stopped. Well, you didn't stop long enough. Here's a ticket. We have it worse here in this country than anyone else, man. We are literally hunted in the streets. They hunt our steps, like it says in Lamentations, right? Let's get there real quick. Let's get there real quick, right? We'll come back to it, right? Lamentations chapter 4. And let's go down. Let's go down to verse 18. Let's start at verse 17. Lamentations chapter 4, and let's start at verse 17. Right? As for us, eyes has yet failed for our vain help. Looking into each vain help, man. That's why you're at the polls voting, because your eyes keep failing year after year. Come on, y'all, we can vote, we can do this, we can change. Your eyes have deceived you. And this is what happens. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us, man. This is big time Egypt talk right here, man. This is big time America talk right here, man. Where you don't want to leave off from your sins, for you're looking at a nation that could never help you in the first place, man. You're looking at a nation that doesn't care about you, man. Well, I graduated. I'm leaving high school. I'm leaving elementary. I'm leaving middle school. This is vain help, man. They speak peace to you, but there is no peace. They speak smooth words to you, but there is no care. It says, verse 18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is coming. And that's literally what's going on. Our steps have been hunted, where their counterparts can say, man, I've never been down to court. Yeah, I know. There's nothing but Jake down there. There's never a that dang gone Edomite down there, man. There's barely any Edom. If there is, they're like trailer park trash, man. And there's maybe like 4 or 5 of them, man. The rest is just Jake, man. All Jake, man. Right? It's just all Jake, man. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 6, man. Right? And let's get verse 13, verse 12. Let's get verse 12. Exodus chapter 6 and verse 12. And Moses spake before the Lord, saying, behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of the circumcised lips? Right? Uncircumcised lips. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel, unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring the children out of the land of Egypt. So this is what we're trying to tell you about this place. There was such a great war to get us out of this place. There's going to be another war to get us out of this place that we're in right now, right? And if you all aren't willing to make good on serving the Lord, you're going to get caught up in this thing, man. Let's go to the book of Acts real quick. Let's get a precept in the book of Acts, okay? Let's jump around, right? Getting ready to close out shortly, but let's get some of these accounts out the way, man. Acts chapter 7, and let's go to verse 30, right? Matter of fact, let me see. Probably let's start at 34. Let's start at 34. Acts chapter 7 and verse 34. Acts chapter 7 and verse 34, and it reads, I have seen the affliction of my people which is in Egypt, man. And I have heard their groaning. You see that? And am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt. We are waiting to get out of this place, man. We don't want to go our whole lives being beat down and trodden, man. Right? We don't want to do that. This Moses, verse 35, whom they refused, which we just read, saying, who made thee a ruler and judge? The same did God send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel, which appeared to him in the bush. So y'all don't know who y'all dealing with, man, to go against the laws given to Moses, to go against the ordinance given to our people. You don't know who you're dealing with, man. You're dealing with thus says the Lord. And he'll send an angel to fight against you, man. He'll send an angel to destroy you, man. He brought them out. This angel brought us out. After that, he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt and in the Red Sea and in the wilderness 40 years, because though that wilderness happened because of the hard head of our people, man. That wilderness happened because there were some who just didn't have faith. And we're going to get some of those accounts. We're going to get 3 accounts where our people just turned on the Lord before we wrap up. We're going to get 3 accounts where we pissed the Most High off to wrath, where he had to deal with us in a wicked manner after we were supposed to be keeping the commandments delivered out of the land of Egypt. Our people just would not have anything to do with keeping their mind right, man. They wanted to go back into America. They wanted to go back to playing games. They wanted to go back to lying and stealing and cheating, man. It says, verse 37, this is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren. Who is this talking about?
Yahushua.
Say it again.
Yahushua.
This is talking about Yahushua. This was prophesied in the book of Deuteronomy. In the earlier books, man. Like unto me. 18 and 18. Deuteronomy 18 and 15, man. It says, like unto me, him shall ye hear. So y'all don't want to hear the law of Moses. Y'all not following after Yahushua. Then what's next for you? What's next? If you're not going to follow after the law, if you're not going to have faith, what's next? You know it. What's next? Say it louder. Say it louder. Death, man. Straight up like that. Straight up and down, man. Right? Straight up and down. There's nothing left but death. Con? Let's go to verse 39. To whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turn back again into Egypt. In their hearts turn back again into Egypt. This is the problem. Your hearts, your mouth say one thing, but the Lord is seeing your heart. He's seeing that you really want to be here. You really do like the car you're driving. You really do like being on Facebook all dang day. You really do like gossiping. You do. And so the Lord says, okay, you want to make gods until you want to wear the ankh, you want to wear the cross, you want to do all these things. What does it say in verse 40? Saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us. For as for this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. We don't know where he is. We don't know what's going on. Right? And they made a calf in those days and offered a sacrifice unto the idol and rejoiced in the works of their hands. Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. Man, like, hey, I don't want nothing to do with you now. As it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? The wilderness was your captivity, was your punishment as well. In America is you all's punishment right now. Do y'all understand? Y'all understand? And if you keep turning from the Lord, yeah, verse 43, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch. You guys are taking up the tabernacle of Caesar Borgia and wickedness, Muslims, Islam, Egyptology, Anunnakis, 5%ers, all this garbage that our people are struggling with because we're the only ones who have an identity issue, man. Rampham, in the star of your God, Rampham, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon for that, man. You got to go because of that, man. Let's get back to the understanding, right? Let's go to these 3 accounts where we all went off and the Lord ultimately judged our people, and then we'll get ready to wrap up, man, right? Let's go to Numbers chapter 11. Serving these idol gods, man. Numbers chapter 11, right? And let's start at verse 1. For it was well with us in Egypt. It was never well with us in Egypt. And you guys were confused. Our people are confused. You're in delusion. Numbers 11 and 1. And it reads, and when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, man. And the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. So instead of having faith, instead of doing what's righteous, you're going to complain and you're going to talk about people. You're going to say, woe is me. You're going to get depressed. And you're displeasing the Lord, man. Did it then, doing it now. And what did the Lord do? He sent what? What does it say? And what happened? The fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them, man. That means people lost their lives. Y'all understand? Let's go to verse 2. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. Because we know that the Lord doesn't hear who?
Sinners.
Say it again.
Sinners.
The Lord doesn't hear sinners, man. So they asked somebody who wasn't in sin to pray to the Lord, man. We've been complaining. And this is an account. Let's look at this account. Verse 3. What does it say? And he called the name of that place what? Taberah. This is one of your accounts. This is probably the second account. We're going to go to the first account. This is account number 2. Taberah. This is account number 2. Taberah. Because what? The fire of the Lord did what? Burnt among them. This is the first account, Taberah, right? Because they complained, they nagged, they was ungrateful, and the Lord sent a fire to burn them, right? Taberah. Now let's go to the first account. This is your second account. Let's go to the first account in the book of Exodus. Let's go to the first account in the book of Exodus, chapter 17. And let's start at verse 1. Let's get the first account of the Lord dealing with us wickedly because of our complaining, for we wanted to stay in Egypt, man. Exodus chapter 17 and verse 1, and it reads, and all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. So already, you know, Jake, you know our people, you ain't got no water to drink. And now you go what? Gonna turn on who? Gonna turn on the Most High for most likely, right? It's already sounding like, okay, here we go. Let's read. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said, give us water. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord? Now let's look up this definition, chide, man. Right? Let's look up this definition of chide, man. What does the definition of chide say? It says to speak out in angry or displeased rebuke, is quick to chide against the mayor of his negligence, to voice disapproval, to reproach, right? To scold. So chide isn't a good thing, is it? To complain. Didn't we just read in Taberah, which means the Lord sent fire to consume, right? Didn't that just happen because of complaining? Let's go back to Exodus, right? Chapter 17. And let's start at verse 3. And Moses and the people thirsted there for water. Verse 3. And the people thirsted there for water, and the people what? Murmured, chided, complained against Moses, and said, wherefore is it that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? So here they go. The Lord delivered us because of all the groaning. Didn't we all remember that verse? And here they go acting like they weren't groaning in Egypt, acting like that place wasn't a burden, acting like you guys weren't in bondage just because you're thirsty. Now you're saying, hey, man, why we leave Egypt just to be out here? I'd rather go back to Egypt. That's what they're saying. You see that? You see that? You don't want to have faith in the Lord, so you're gonna rather go. People are gonna be taken into the new wilderness, man. You don't think they're gonna be out there saying, "You brought us out here, man. I had a comfortable bed, man. I had a new couch, man. You know, why we out here?" It's gonna be them same people on the earth, man. In Moses, verse 4, and Moses did what? He cried unto the Lord, saying, what shall I do unto these people, man? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said unto Moses, right, go on before the people and take with thee the elders of Israel and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, and take in thine hand and go. Right? This is a mighty account. You all have to read through these accounts after Sabbath, man. It says, behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. Verse 7. And he called the name of the place what? Massa or Massah, right? And Meribah, because of the chiding of Israel, because of the complaining of Israel, and because they did what? They tempted the Lord, saying, is the Lord among us or not? So this is your first account, where the anger of the Lord was kindled, where they tempted the Most High. The place of Massah, Meribah, right? The place of Massah, Meribah. And then let's go back to Numbers chapter 11, right? Let's get this last account, man. Well, it won't be the last account, but it's the third account, right? Let's go to Numbers chapter 11, and let's start at verse 4. Let's get these accounts, man. And let's stay in the spirit. What does it say in verse 4? In the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? So already they're tripping over water. They're complaining over the distance, complaining about this, about Moses, building calves, and all these different wicked things are going on that happened like in times past. You're seeing those things happen now, right? And what did they say in verse 5, everybody? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, and the onions, and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. So they complaining about the angel food, man. They're complaining about things given freely from the Most High without them having to do any work, without having to be burdened, whipped, seeing their children slain, right? Now you're over here talking about, I remember the dang on cucumbers and melons, man. Lusting after your flesh, man. Right? Let's jump down for sake of time. Let's jump down to verse 10 for sake of time. Right? And then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families. Every man in the door of his tent was damn hell complaining and talking about they want some damn chicken, man. They want some fish or something. They want some meat, man. And what happened? In the anger of what? The Lord. In the anger of the Lord was kindled. Yet again. In the anger of the Lord was kindled yet again greatly. and Moses was also displeased. Okay, that's what we're reading. All right, let's jump down to verse 13. Whence should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat. And this is what Moses is talking to the Most High about, man. What am I going to do? He says, I am not able to bear all this people alone because it is too heavy for me, right? So Moses is already seeing these things are an issue, okay? They be ready to stone me again. They be ready to kill me again, right? Is what he said in verse 15. Let's jump down to 16 for sake of time. We're going to get through this. And the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest, the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there. And I will take of the spirit which is upon you, Moses, and will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. Our Father, man, is a great God, man. He's a merciful God, man. What does it say in verse 18? And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. So don't deal with what they're dealing with. Don't be lustful in your flesh, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. And that's the title of the lesson. This is what they said to the Lord. He saw their hearts. They said, for it was well with us in Egypt, man. Therefore, the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. Ye shall not eat one day. Ye shall not even have it for 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out of your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? And this is what's going to happen in these times, man. It's happening right now. The Lord says, you don't really love him. You don't really care about him. You rather be here with your oppressors. You rather be joined on to the white man and the Asian man and the Japanese man and the Indian man and everybody else in between. I understand. Hey, people have a short attention span. This lesson may be going over a lot of people's head right now, man. Why are we out? Why are we not in Egypt still, man? Because guess what? You're the Lord's people, and you were complaining there. You're complaining here, man. Right? This is the issue with our people, man. Let's go down to 28. Let's go down to verse 28. Right? And Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, my Lord Moses, forbid them. Well, let's skip over that. Actually, this is when the Spirit came upon. So the scriptures I just skipped over here is when the Lord sent the Spirit on the people, like he said. They began prophesying. Verse 25, you can read that. They began prophesying and they did not cease. And there were 2 men who were teaching in a camp. And Joshua said, forbid them, in verse 28. And Moses said unto him, envious thou for my sake? Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord will put his spirit upon them. So Moses was essentially saying, man, let them brothers do what they're doing. If it was able to, the Lord will put the spirit upon everybody, right? And they be in the spirit, right? But let's go down to the account and what happened with this flesh. Let's get this third account. And Moses gat him into the camp, and then the elders of Israel, 31. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all day and all night and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. So while they were yet chomping down on the flesh, the Lord said, I got you for your wickedness, right? And the Lord did what? And the Lord smote the people with a very great plague, man. And he called the name of that place Kibroth Tahava, Kibroth Ha-Ta'ava, because there they buried the people that lusted. And this is the new Kibroth Ha-Ta'ava, man. America. A lot of people are going to be buried here that lust, man. They're going to be buried here that want to please their flesh. They're going to get buried here because they didn't want to go back to the land. They said, for it was well with us in Egypt, man. And this is the portion that we must understand, man. That the Most High is continually judging us, man. Let's get a precept, everybody. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 9. Mark your verses, man. Mark these verses, man. Mark your scriptures, man. And go back to these things and look at the account in total. Look at the account in whole. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 22. Deuteronomy chapter 9 and 22 is going to give you the accounts that we just went over. What does it say? Deuteronomy chapter 9 and 22, it says, and at Taberah, and at Massah, and at Kibroth Tahava, ye provoked the Lord to wrath. You see that? The same accounts, man. Everyone knew about the weakness of our people and the lack of faith. These things were recorded. These things were measured. And this is why the wilderness happened, man. This is why captivity happens, man. Because we aren't thinking that the Lord is keeping track record of our inconsistencies, of our doubts, of our faith, man, or lack thereof. We have to continue with the righteous understanding of the Most High. We have to continue doing what's righteous in his own eyes, man. What's righteous in the Most High's eyes, man, not our own eyes. All right. Last couple of precepts, and we'll get ready to close this thing out, man. Let's go to Psalms chapter 78. Let's go to Psalms chapter 78, and let's get a precept here. You can read through these accounts, measure the time, observe yourself, examine yourself, right? And ultimately, you have to start leaving off from sin and doubt in this captivity, not to be like these people who were at Taberah and Massah, right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 78, and let's get this account. Let's start at verse 12. Psalm 78 and verse 12. All of Psalm 78 is real good. We're going to bounce around and get ready to close out, man, through the Spirit. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zohan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the water stand up as a heap. So this is talking about who? The Lord. In the deliverance out of Egypt. Do y'all understand that? In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with the light of fire. So this is the account. See, on these Saturdays, like we can go for precept, but I want y'all to start getting an understanding of these scriptures and the accounts, so you all can have other real precepts to marry with these things based off of the scriptures being brought out, understanding the history, man. Right? What does 15 say? He clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink as out of the great depths. These are the accounts. These are the righteous works, where the Lord showed miracles and where you all tempted the Most High to anger. He brought streams out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. Do y'all see that? Verse 17. Do we want to keep sinning? La'ah. Do we want to keep provoking the Most High to anger? La'ah. They tempted the Most High in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Mark these verses, man. Mark your scriptures, man. And read through people who had lack of faith and make sure that's not you, man. Make sure that's not you, man. It says, yeah, they spake against the Most High and said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock that waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore, the Lord heard this and was angry. He was wroth, man. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger came up against Israel, because they believed not in God and trusted not in his salvation. This is the lesson. We want you all to believe and to trust in the Most High. You all can read the rest of Psalm 7 and 8 and get all of the accounts, because it's a beautiful scripture. It's going through what we just read, summing it all up, man, giving you the breakdown, giving you the summary that you all should trust in the Most High and not be servants of your own flesh, man, right? Should not be trusting in your own way, man, right? Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1. And we'll get ready to wrap up after this. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1. For sake of time, I'm going to skip some of the precepts I had. We're going to jump right to the last portion. All right. 1 Maccabees chapter 1. Salakia. Right. And we'll go to about verse 10. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 10. So this is a time of Alexander the Great. You all can look up the history, look up the time span of Alexander the Great, and you'll see about what was going on in Israel and what was going on with our people. After Alexander died, right, his kingdom was split up. His kingdom was split up, okay? And let's look at what's going on right here in verse 10. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome and reigned in the 130th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So this is your portion to understand what's happening. In those days went there out of Israel what? Wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. This is that I don't want to leave Egypt spirit. I had cucumbers and melons. I don't want to serve the Lord. This is that same spirit. Mark your verses, man. Take your notes, read these accounts, and make sure this isn't you. That you aren't giving up salvation for some melons and cucumbers, man. That you aren't buried in the land of your lust, like our forefathers, man. Make sure this will not be you, man. Con? Let's bounce down and we'll get ready to wrap up. Let's go to verse 15. What does it say right here? And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. You all have to not join yourselves to these heathens, man. Not getting comfortable in America, not getting comfortable in Egypt, not selling your soul, not doing things that are wicked. You all have to leave off from those things, man, right? Because the reason of you all getting comfortable in Egypt, this is what they're doing to you, and this is what's going to happen. What does it say in verse 30? They're going to speak peaceable words unto you, but all will be deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel, man. We don't want to be destroyed, man. We don't want to be taken for fools, man. Being with a sinful people of a sinful nation, leaving off from the Most High and his ordinances just to serve our own flesh. All right. We're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up with that, man. Right. We're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up with that. You all have to understand that the Lord is ever judging, man. Where he's being ever watchful of us, man. Right. And if you all are too famished to serve the Lord, you want your water now, you want your flesh now, right? You're going to get judged. Let me get 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9, and we'll wrap up after this. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. To be punished. All right. The Lord know how to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So don't think for a minute that you're escaped because you haven't seen any adversity. Y'all understand? But with that, we most definitely can go ahead and wrap up through the Spirit, the Most High. We've kind of exceeded our time. I'll go ahead and get ready to close out. I hope that everyone was edified through the Spirit of the Most High, man. This has been a beautiful Spirit Check Saturday again. Spirit Check Saturday, Spirit Check Sabbath days, man, where we encourage one another to keep going. We encourage you all to keep in the Spirit. We encourage you all to manifest the Most High in your heart. That way you aren't going off into different doctrines of the world, man. But with that, I want to say, Ashar Shabbat Shalom, man. Happy Sabbath and peace, Sabbath, man. Shalom to you all. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem and Mashiach Yahweh. All praise to the Most High and His only begotten Son, whom the world calls Christ, man. With that, we're going to say Shalom.